First, there's a general statement in verse 17, "O faithless, perverse generation." Then, when the disciples asked at the end of verse 19, "Why could we not cast it out?" his response in verse 20, "Because of your unbelief." And so further instruction is being given here to his disciples as to the need for their complete reliance upon him if they're going to see any fruit, any power in their lives. In order for them to operate through the use of any divine power, as they had been given, they would need to be doing so in complete reliance upon Jesus, as is true of all of his followers. The language in this passage is indicating that the disciples who were left behind when Jesus went up on this mountain with Peter, James, and John, those left behind had resorted to trusting in their own abilities again, in themselves, and thinking they could do this. It says, the man says, "I brought him to your disciples, but they couldn't cure him." And then they asked, "Why couldn't we cast him out?" Because it turns out they didn't even have a mustard seed worth of faith in Jesus. So they were operating complete self-reliance, thinking they can do this, and thus they could do nothing spiritually. You go along in the gospel account, Jesus' most fundamental instruction given to followers is that remains the fundamental instruction to this day is the need to completely be dependent upon him. I can't be partly dependent upon the world, partly dependent upon my flesh, and partly dependent upon Jesus. If I want to see eternal fruit born in my life, if I want to see power over things in my life, it's got to be completely on him, and I can have no dependence on myself or anyone else in this world, which is interesting in that in the most fundamental way, his teaching, the lesson of faith, is complete opposite of what the world teaches and the world's logic. Dude, if someone in this world was going away and leaving their loyal followers behind, the most logical, most responsible thing for them to do would be for them to teach those being left behind total self-reliance. Okay, guys, I'm going to be leaving. Okay, so you better learn to handle things on your own. You're going to have to be able to look after yourselves because I'm not going to be here. That would be how someone in the world would teach their followers, if they were going away, you're not going to see me again. But instead, Jesus teaches his followers just the opposite. Okay, guys, listen, I'm going away, so you better have complete dependence upon me, personally.